When one of our clients, after staying in his house 20 odd years, decided to sell his home, he came to the realization of the building plan requirement and found out from council that there's no previously approved building plans available. The conveyancer connected us and we went to go and do a professional assessment to understand whether all the structures that's currently on the property is approvable under the current legislation before we just update the plans and basically tell the client they have to keep on putting money into a black hole. So the whole idea was to proactively tell them whether everything's going to be approved or how council is going to view their application. So it was one large dwelling unit, like home, but it had a long corridor. It has a long corridor, and at the end it's like a bedroom, and the bedroom has been converted into it's got its own little kitchen, it's got its own little shower, it's got its own entrance, and then also on top there's a patio that's been a patio area, and it's been enclosed, and it's got its own kitchenette. It's got stairs that's been built down to access the swimming pool, also with its own entrance. So even though it's part of the footprint, I can say it's the same footprint of the primary residence, it can function separately on its own, which is basically the trigger for council to say, yeah, but it's separate dwelling units, meaning it could function independently from each other. So we did alert the client that might be the view, but we were able to draw up plans and submit building plans as if it is one dwelling unit and comply with all the necessary regulation for one dwelling unit. But we did say to the client, we'll see what council says because they've got the final say. Council came back and they said, okay, building control, and they said, no, there's multiple layouts. So not even only a second dwelling unit application, basically rezoning, because there's in their eyes, there's 3 units that could function separately from each other. I had two engagements with building control and the plan examiner to find out from them which regulations specifically are we not abiding to, because we have to tie it back to regulation. You can't just go on feeling. They were unable to give us that answer, and just said they can see that it's got the potential to be used for that. We had a conversation around declining applications because of the potential of something. So every garage has the potential of becoming a second dwelling unit, or every sunroom has got the potential of becoming a separate unit. So plans cannot be declined due to potential. So it was they sent it through to RSP. It was referred to regional and spatial planning. We went through 2 committee meetings, and we specifically asked that we would like to have the regulation against which they're basically declining our application. And the feedback was that according to regulation, everything is intact according to regulation. So there's no regulations that we're not complying to, but the official feedback is the different spaces don't integrate in a meaningful way. That was the feedback. That is the reason why they declined the application. So if you've got any type of separate entrance, it's not always just the kitchens, but if any part of your home can function independently, whether there's a door or not, separating it from the rest of the property or not, there's always a chance for council to view it that way. The client is now in a situation where he is going to have to take out anything between 150,000 to 500,000, depending on what it is that he wants to do, in order to get these building plans approved the way that they are, the functions of the areas the way that they are, or he's going to have to break down half of and close everything the way that so that it can function as one dwelling unit.